Hey everyone, welcome and thanks for watching. In my last video you saw me unbox, install, and set up this August Smart Lock. And I talked briefly about the lock that I chose for my primary door, the front door, and that's this Schlage Sense. So the main reason I picked the Schlage Sense, as I mentioned in the last video, was because it had a keypad. And just say I didn't have my phone with me, or the battery was dead and I didn't have my keys, or I lost them, I'd still be able to gain access into the house with the keypad using a code that I programmed. So what I want to do in this video is talk a little bit more about the Schlage Sense. Now unfortunately I've already unboxed and installed this, so I won't be doing those things on video for you guys to watch. There are a bunch of install videos, and I'll link to one from Schlage themselves that shows you how to install, set up, and get this up and running. What I will do though is talk about some of the challenges I had while installing this, and there were a couple, and maybe some of the likes and dislikes. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this lock, and let's go to the front door. So here's the Schlage Sense from the inside. It has the traditional thumb turn to unlock and lock the door. Much like the August Smart Lock that I installed in the last video, there were 2 screws I had to remove to take out the entire assembly. So once I had those removed, I took out the existing thumb turn. I removed the deadbolt itself right here, and I removed the front key lock. And once those were out, there was an existing hole here, which I put in now this new deadbolt. I put in the front with the keypad, and there was a wire that ran through the hole and then out the back here. Then there was a mounting plate that I installed, and then finally this large assembly which has the motor. And this is held on. You attach this to the mounting plate with 2 screws, the 1 screw hole here, and then there is another screw up here. So one thing you want to keep in mind when you're installing this is do not touch this circuit board. They warn you not to touch it because maybe you can fry something. I'm not sure exactly what it is. There is a place here for 2 batteries, a connection. It holds 4 AA batteries, and for us it's lasted pretty long, well over a year, and I think the last time I checked we were at like 40-something%. So it was, for the most part, a pretty straightforward install. I mentioned there were a couple hurdles I had to overcome. One of those is the door jamb itself. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So here's the door jamb itself. And one thing was, when I first got the lock, the deadbolt didn't travel freely into and out of its hole. So I had to widen this a bit to make sure that it turned freely, because if it wouldn't, the lock would get sticky, and that would put unnecessary strain on the motor. So once I did that, the lock also comes with a extra support plate and extra long screws. I'm not sure if you can see it in there, but I did install that, and you want to install that, and I highly recommend installing that because it makes the door more secure. So after that, I installed this strike plate, and again, before I tightened everything down, I made sure that the lock traveled freely into and out of the door jamb. So again, one of the main reasons why I chose this lock for the front door is you can access your home with a traditional key, or use the keypad, or of course, our favorite way is to use your smartphone. And here we can find the lock is listed here. In the favorites, it says right now, living room front door is locked. And then you can easily unlock it using your home app. If you 3D press, you can see the lock switch there, and then lock it and unlock it. Or we could use my personal favorite method and ask Siri to do it. Lock the front door.
Okay, the front door is locked.
Unlock the front door.
door is unlocked.
And if your front door is unlocked, you can ask Siri from your HomePod to lock it. Hey Siri, lock the front door.
Your front door is locked.
Hey, so there you have it. That is the Schlage Sense Smart Deadbolt. And for the most part, it's worked really well for us. And I'd easily recommend this for your home if you want to be able to access your house with a traditional key, code on a keypad, or your smartphone. So one of the added benefits of having smart locks in your home, since I have the Schlage Sense on the front door, the August lock on the door leading into the house from the garage, and of course for having the MyQ garage door opener, I can access my house and get in without my keys. So I don't carry my keys anymore. I don't have them in my pocket. They're not jingling around. They're not weighing me down. It's one less thing I have to worry about losing or always bringing with me. As long as I have my phone, and I always have my phone, I can get into my house. And for me, that's been a really cool, great benefit because it's one less thing to worry about. It's made my life a little easier, and I think that's one of the benefits about having a smart home is if it makes your life even just a little bit easier, I think it's well worth it. So one thing I did want to mention is while the lock has been overall great, there are a few bumps in the road here and there, and one of those is updating the firmware. And I've had to update the firmware twice on this, and both times I've had to reset the lock completely to get it to show up on my iPhone again. So that's going to do it for the Schlage Sense Smart Deadbolt. I recommend it. It's worked for me in my usage. If you have one, if you love it or hate it, hey, leave me a comment. Let me know how you like it, how it's worked for you. If you're having a pain updating firmware, let me know that. If you've found a way to solve that problem, please let me know that and leave that in the comments as well. And if you have any questions, you can leave those in the comments too. And if you thought any of this was useful, please hit the like button, and you'd be doing me a huge favor if you haven't already. Please subscribe to the channel. It's really encouraging for me every time I see a new subscriber pop up or my subscriber count go up. So thanks again for joining me. Until the next time, please stay safe out there.